actually every time you invite me, I am. It's always an honor and a privilege to come and share with this amazing team, and I'm truly honored to be given this opportunity to share with my fellow entrepreneurs. You know, my mission is to actually raise entrepreneurs to reach their full potential. That is my mission, and that is actually the mission for our team here in Uganda called Team Land Kings. Our mission is to raise entrepreneurs to reach their full potential. So every single time I'm invited over to speak to fellow entrepreneurs, it encourages me a lot. It motivates me. It inspires me. And I always share with all my heart because I feel like
Sorry, let's give Justus a second to reconnect.
with a call. Sorry about. Okay. So my name is Muhumuza Justus. For those that we may be meeting for the first time, and I've been in New Life for some time now. I got started as a student who had actually registered for a dead year, and my mother did not have money to keep me in school. So when this opportunity came into my life, I am actually very glad and very happy that I was able to understand it because there are so many people who are always introduced to this opportunity, and unfortunately they never understand it. They never pick up the concept, and they actually end up missing out. So I'm very happy and glad that when I was introduced this opportunity, I was able to understand it. I grabbed it and I built it. And within a very short time, I was able to actually be able to succeed. You know, I have also met very many people. Every time I share with them my story, they actually tell me that you succeeded very fast because you are very lucky. No, you know, I have come to admit and accept that luck only comes to those who give it their very best. If you are the kind who is going to present to an average of 10 people every single day, when it comes to team meetings, when it comes to Zoom meetings, you invite to the maximum. When it comes to company experience meetings, you have a circle of about 20, 30 guests. Now, those are the people who actually end up being lucky to be able to succeed in this business very fast. Now, my mentor asked me to share on how can we be able to actually go to Mauritius. Now, one of the things that actually one of the statements that I picked up when he had just started the meeting is that not everyone succeeds in this business, and this cuts across everywhere. It is very possible for everybody to succeed, but not everybody succeeds. Why? The people who succeed are people who are very serious, people who give it their best, people who don't give any excuses. One of my other mentors, Charlie Bolton, who I understand is coming to Kenya, I think in June. He actually, there's one point that I picked from him. He said that this business is the people who succeed in this business. They are the strong-hearted people. In other words, what he was trying to say that this business is not for weak-hearted people. People who are distributors right now, and I am speaking about this with authority because it took me exactly 1 year, 1 month to become a One Ruby director. Not just a SAFA director, but a One Ruby director. 1 year, 1 month. Those are 13 months. So I am speaking with authority that it is very, very possible that whoever is on this call, even a new distributor on this call, can actually be able to travel to Mauritius as a world team member, because I did it. And I have seen those people who also, I've seen so many people who have even gone ahead to become 2, 3 Ruby directors in just 12 months. So if anyone asked me, I am a guest, I want to go to Mauritius, is it very possible? I will tell them it is very possible, because I became a 1 Ruby director in a 13 months. So it is very possible. Now, why did I become a 1 Ruby director? Me personally, it wasn't about the travel, because actually when I was joining, my main aim was not about using the products, was not about traveling. It was mainly about the money, because I needed the money like yesterday. I had just quit school. I was very disappointed and very hurt that my friends were in school and I was out of school. So when they told me that you can grow this business within 1 year and go back to school, I never wasted any minute. I just asked them, what can I do? In fact, the questions that people that are on this call, we asked 19 people. The only questions that you should be asking are the same questions that I was asking. The questions I was asking were, if others are doing it past time, me who is going to do it full time, do I have to wait for 6 months to become director? Can't I become director in 3 months? Since me, I am giving it more time. And the answers that I was being given were, in this business, you're your own boss. You decide your promotion. You decide how much you want to earn. You decide how fast you want to grow. Those were the questions I was asking. I was asking questions like, they have told the company is saying do at 3:30. People are saying do at 3:30. Is that the minimum? Can't I bring more? And the questions were, you are your own boss. You need to decide how many you can even bring 20. My mentor here, Josephat, brings an average of 10. Sometimes he brings 15. Sometimes even brings 20 in one single month. So you actually you have a mentor, that you have an upline that has done so many things. So any questions, in fact, I don't expect anyone giving excuses in this superstars team. I don't expect anyone giving excuses that I am not able to bring 5 people every single month. Because to those who want to go to Mauritius, the minimum you can bring in a month, the bare minimum, the bare minimum should be 3 people. Those are 36 new distributors. There is not any single person who can introduce 36 new distributors and fails to become a world team member to go to Mauritius. It cannot be. It cannot be. Now, the earlier you bring the 36 distributors, the better. Because if you can bring these 36 distributors the next 2 to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, then you have ample time to support them, to help them to become managers, to help them to become senior managers, to help them to become executive managers, to help them to become directors. And then when you develop directors, then it even becomes much easier for you to become a world team member. Today, the company has even simplified the matter. The matter about developing directors has been simplified. You can join today, sponsor 10 people or 20 people in one single month. And I'm speaking with this because we have examples here. In 2 months, actually, in my very first month of joining the business, I became a senior manager after introducing 19 people. So the things that we are talking about here, we are not talking about things we have had. There is attending a meeting and hear that someone has used feminine herbal complex and he has been able to conceive. But now that is the training. But I'm talking about things that I have personally done. I am talking about things that your upline has done. In my first month, I brought 19 people. By the time we were getting to the second month, I had 28 people on the team. My goal was to become director in 3 months. I ended up as director exactly in 6 months. When I became director, because I was attending every single meeting, I was accumulating knowledge at the fastest rate. Because you also need knowledge, you need information, you need skills, you need to consume this knowledge, you need to consume skills at the fastest rate. And that is what I never missed any trainings. I attended every training. In fact, one problem my uplines always had with me is I always invited a lot. Even where I needed not to invite, I was inviting. They invite me, they invite for, there's a senior manager school, I bring guests. There is a manager school, I bring guests. There's a time I actually attended my first director school and I also came with guests. That is how serious and urgent it was. And I'm telling you the things that I've done. Today it is very easy. You can join, sponsor as many people as possible, help them to become managers and senior managers. And once you have been able to do that, have been able to help them to become managers and senior managers, and you do 2,000 points, you become an executive manager. When you become an executive manager in your first 1 month or second month or even third month, the month you become an executive manager, the following month, you can become a director. Now, when you become a director, now the other challenge is now on helping someone else to become a director. I remember when I became a director, the people on my team who were also as hungry. You know what? Once you are hungry, you also attract hungry people. When you are lazy, you also attract lazy people. When you are a person who is full of excuses, you also attract people who give excuses. And I believe that I am speaking to very serious, hungry people who actually want to go to Mauritius. Now, when you are hungry and you're bringing in many people, I listen to every morning, I listen to Eric Worre. Eric Worre has his methods that are quite interesting. Methods like slow and steady will starve you to death. There are these people who always say bring one person every single month, you build it slow but steady. No. He actually says that slow and steady will only starve you to death. And then he talks about things like we need to sponsor in bunches. We need sponsor in bunches. This whole thing of bringing one person or two people this month, then you rest a bit, you bring after 3 months, you bring after 4 months, There is not any single person who is going to become director and become a world team if this is the way you're doing business. You need to bring people in bunches. You need to bring people in bulk. Bring 10, bring 5, bring 7 in one single month. If like right now, the people that are listening to me, if you this month you brought like 5 people or 6 people or 7 people, the following month you bring another 7. The following month you bring another 5. And in the next like 3-4 months, you have brought like let's say like 20 people. Personally, then you are headed for director, you are headed for world team, you are headed for Mauritius. By the way, I have been in Mauritius before. Mauritius is not a place for people who are trying to build life. Mauritius, people who go to Mauritius are people who are already there. People who strictly go. Mauritius has only two economic activities. Number one, they plant sugarcane. Number two, it is tourism. It's a very beautiful small island, but then it's an island for only people, celebrities who go for holidays. I remember when we were going to Mauritius, not in 2018, together with my team, we first flew to Istanbul, and then after Istanbul, we took an Airbus. We were over 300 people, and these 300 people, we were only 5 people that were blacks. I think they must have been looking at us, and we were dressed like we're going for holiday. I think they were looking at us and I'd be like, how are these 5 blacks able to board a plane to Mauritius? Because even the air ticket alone is about $1,500. The air ticket alone. So Mauritius is a place that you go to and you're treated like a king. You spend. I mean, I remember the hotel we're sleeping in. It had a whole big window, and I would switch somewhere, and then the whole curtain would open, and then I would open the window, and the fresh airs from the oceans would actually come to me, and I'd be like, my goodness, what if it was not new life? Where would I experience such kind of a beautiful life? We were in Istanbul recently. Guys, I don't know. Sometimes I feel when I'm speaking to distributors, I just feel like I should get their heads, especially distributors who cannot see the picture. I just feel like I should get their heads. I get their heads, I merge their heads in mud. And then after I have really, really put their head in proper mud, I get their heads and I wash them. And then I ask them, can you now see? Because we were in Turkey, we were in Istanbul, the kind of life we experienced, it is life that every single person here should be able to experience.
Sorry, just a minute. Seems Justus is having an issue.
Sorry, I was telling you that our mentor here organizes and puts in place these meetings, not because of anything, but because he wants you people to also experience. At our level, I'm now to be director. My greatest challenge right now is not bringing people. My greatest challenge is in getting people to actually become directors, in getting people to become wealthy members. That is my greatest challenge right now. These trips here, they are much better and more interesting when you have team members. It feels good when you travel with like 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 people. That is when you get to enjoy it most. And that's why these meetings are being put in place. Now, if you really, really want to step up to World Team this year, please, point number one, you need to be serious. You need to want to be on this trip like crazy. You need to download pictures from internet, magazines, everywhere. Cut them. Put them all over your house. I want to go to Mauritius. I must travel to Mauritius. I want to be in Mauritius with my partner. I want to also express this kind of lifestyle. So you need to have a burning desire. You need to work, and when people look at you, they say, you know what? I don't want to get in your way, but I know you're going to Mauritius. I know you're becoming a world team member. Let people just look at you and they know that this person here, I know whatever case it may be, they are going to Mauritius. After all, even God blesses the works of our hands. So the more we put in, the more we are going to be blessed, the more we are going to be able to achieve. So that is number one. You need to want to go into Mauritius badly and seriously. Number two, it is sponsoring. And in sponsoring, we always have two categories. There's personal sponsoring, and then there's team sponsoring. And our teams always do what we do. Our teams don't do what we tell them to do. They only do what we've told them. They only do what they see us do. The reason as to why team international superstars sponsors so many people, it is because the leader is always sponsoring very many what? Many people. So if you want to go to Mauritius, please, like I told you, the bare minimum. I know it is a sin to talk about sponsoring 3 people in this team here. I know we sponsor an average of 7, 8, 10. But the bare minimum. If you have failed to sponsor, let it be how many? 3. But the faster you bring in people, the easier, the more time you have to support these people to grow. So we need to sponsor people safely. If you want to go to Mauritius, make sure that in the next by the time we are now in the month of May, by the time in the next 3 months, make sure you have introduced a minimum of 20 people personally. A minimum of 20 people personally, because that will give you ample time to develop them to directors, because you need to develop at least a minimum of 3 directors. So point number 3 is development. You need to make sure that every single month you are making a step. You yourself, you need to make sure that you're making a step every single month. If you are a distributor now, make sure that by the time we close, our mentor was telling us we need to touch the line. We need to touch the line. Now, at the end of this month, touch the line as a manager. At the end of this month, if you're a manager, touch the line as a senior manager. If you are a senior manager, at the end of this month, touch the line as an executive manager. And once you become an executive manager, there becomes very easy for you to become what? To become a director. So that is point number 3. You need to make sure that you're growing. You need to make sure that you're taking steps. And then you need to develop people. Don't grow alone. Push your people to the wall. Push your people to beyond the limit. Stretch them up. Make sure they are becoming managers. When someone joins, immediately show them how to become a manager. When someone joins, show them how to become an executive manager. Show them how to become a director in the next 3 to 4 to 5 months. Show them. And how best do you show them? You best show them how to step up if you are stepping up. So you need to make sure that every single month you're stepping up, and then to motivate and inspire and get your team to also do what? To also step up. Through that, you are going to begin, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. Just like they have happened for us, they can also happen for you. So let's go ahead and do those things. Let's get serious. Let's want to become world team members. By the way, it's not just about going to Mauritius. Can you imagine when you qualify to go to Mauritius, your income is going to be an average of $1,000 every single month. Now, if you're doing this pastime, over and above your salary, you have an additional of 1,000 every single month. If you are doing this business full time, you are struggling so hard to go to Mauritius, but your income is also $1,000 every single month. Can you imagine? And when you travel and you come back, your team will be like, if you can do it, we can also do it. Because usually the next event is always better than the previous one. So once you have traveled, then you can also come in front of your team and you speak with authority. Tell them, guys, May last year, when people traveled to Istanbul, I was a manager. I was a distributor, I was a senior manager, I was an executive manager, I was a director. Within 12 months, I was able to travel to Mauritius. Let me show you how I did it. They will listen to you. And they will also do what? They will also work hard to get there. And as they work to get there, you'll be getting to Ruby, you'll be getting to 2 Ruby, you'll be getting to 3 Ruby, you'll be getting to the president's team. That is how things happen in your life. It is very possible. I became a 1 Ruby director in 13 months. And what did I do? It was through becoming crazy about this business. It was through sponsoring massively. That is how I was able to get there. And you can also get there. I was focusing on making a step every single month. Because I remember I did not become a manager, I went straight away to senior manager. From senior manager, I went straight away to director. When I was becoming a director, by the time I was completing my step to emerald director, I was making a step to SAFA director. When I was making my second step to SAFA director, I was making a first step to 1 Ruby. As I was completing SAFA director, I was making my second step to 1 Ruby. And then I completed as a 1 Ruby director in 1 year and 1 month, 13 months to be brief. So it is possible. I have done it. I know you can also do it as well. Thank you so much. I know by the end of when we are in Mauritius, I know I am going to meet people here who tell me, Justus, on this day, it was Monday 6 p.m. in May. You spoke that it was possible, and I'm here in Mauritius. I know it is possible. I know you can do it. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share with you.
Thank you so much, Justus. That's just awesome. That was around 40 minutes or less of total impact. Please, as I take 1 minute to close the meeting, if you believe 100%, Dr. Malusi Reverend is here in the call. He will teach you about faith. If you believe that 100% you are going to be in Mauritius by working on what Justus has shared with us, please chat just 3-4 words there, like this: Justus, comma, I will be with you in Mauritius. Just that. Don't add anything, don't subtract anything. Justus, comma, I will be with you in Mauritius. Just that. And as you do that, I want to remind you a common phrase that we've been using of late, that common sense won't achieve great things, simply become insane and desperate. That has become our motto of late, our leading phrase. Common sense won't achieve much, simply become insane and desperate. And throughout the session, Justus has talked about sponsoring massively. And I want to say this, that you really need to be crazy in inviting guests to our meetings. We have very well laid down meetings, a superstars team. You know when those meetings are taking place. How massively are you inviting for those meetings? If you're in South Africa like Jabi, and you know there are some meetings there in your place, invite massively. Then we have the Kenyan meetings, invite massively, even if it's through virtual meetings, so that you will end up sponsoring massively the way Justus has shared with us. And for that to happen, for you to sponsor massively, and remember, there is nothing like over-sponsoring. There are some people who will talk of over-sponsoring. Nothing like that. Now, for you to do that, you need to talk to enough people. And I want to close by saying this, that the problem is not that we don't talk to people. The problem is that we don't talk to enough people. You cannot talk to 3 people in a day and expect to sponsor much. You need to be sponsoring, to be talking to people from morning to evening. Sow the seeds. Don't bother with them whether they are positive or negative. You cannot control whether they will be positive or negative, but you can control the number of people you talk to. Let those who reject, but you go ahead and talk to the minimum that you gave yourself. So remember, the problem is not that we don't talk to people. The problem is that we don't talk to enough people. And from today, let's commit, because we are committed to go to Mauritius. I can see the streaming messages committing to go to Mauritius. And that means you're committing to be a Sapphire minimum by end of this year. Then let's commit to talk to so many people. I don't want to tell how many. It is up to you to decide the number. Otherwise, God bless you so much. And that was a great meeting. I know we are very ready to run with it. Don't do things in the normal way. You just get the normal results. Don't walk at the pace of everyone else. You are peculiar. That was our opening remark. You are peculiar, you are special, you are unique. That's why you are part of the Superstars Entrepreneurs Bootcamp. So please do things differently. And I want to congratulate the people who qualified for the Senior Managers and Executive Managers School coming on 27th, on Saturday. And guess what? They are all members of this Entrepreneurs Bootcamp. And that is what happens when you are sponsoring every month and you are having more than 100 personal points. Then you'll be able to qualify for all these other incentives immediately or later. That's the way to go. Remember, you are here in this bootcamp because every month you are sponsoring one person and doing more than 100 personal points. And if you sneaked in through the window, please, we will seal that window next meeting. So make sure that you sponsor one and have 100 personal points for you to legally be in this bootcamp. Otherwise, next week on Monday, again, we'll be having another powerful speaker you don't want to miss. And it's not just about qualifying to be in that meeting. It's about also helping someone to qualify to also join with you. As Justus has said, it's not just about going to Mauritius. It's about identifying another chap like you and you go together. They qualify also to go with you. And ladies and gentlemen, we are about to build the most exciting business ever, the greatest success ever, the most enormous success. And you don't want to be left behind. Let's go. We have the better option. God bless you so much. See you at 8 p.m. for the meeting. We will not be having a guest presentation, but rather some special product session at 8 p.m. Using the normal link that the company shares for Monday 8 p.m. meeting. See you there. God bless you. Let's be meeting in the beaches of the world. Close this month strong. Take your next step. I loved that. Take the next step. So if you are listening to this call, when you are a manager, we want you to close as a senior manager. Senior managers to executive, executive to directors, directors to Emerald to Sapphire. God bless you so much and enjoy the rest of the evening. Till then, bye-bye.